I'm Leon Todd for G66. Welcome to another Tuesday Tone Tip. Last week, we did a video looking at a stacked FM3 preset where I tried to cram as much into one preset as possible. Today, I want to take a look at just how powerful the Axe-FX 3 is by utilizing some very unique sounds and using two instances of some of the most powerful effect blocks in the whole Fractal ecosystem. We're going to use the multitap delay block, the pitch block, and the plex delay block. Now, the FM3 and the FM9 both support one instance of these blocks each, and you, of course, have 4 channels on each block. So they can cover so much territory. I have done several Tuesday Tone Tips looking at applications of each of those blocks. But today, we're going to go way overboard just because we can on the Axe-FX 3. Before we do that though, this is the Gibtone Scout amp model. At stock settings, I just popped it straight in. I have a cabinet IR that I made of a Boogie oversized cabinet with some Electro Voice speakers in there, no high or low cut in there at all, and just a little bit of Recording Studio C reverb on my JP7 on the tapped mode. The Scout is such a great clean amp. It's so underrated and overlooked. That's my amp suggestion for the week. On channel B there, I have the ODS 100 Ford PAB for a very creamy lead sound. Doing that thing. Let's go back to channel A though. So what I want to start out is to take a look at the multi-tap delay block, and I want to make an 8-voice chorus using the multi-tap delay block. Let's go to scene 2 because here's some stuff that I prepared earlier. These pitch blocks are on, but they're actually not in the signal chain at the moment because I've got these delays here with the bypass mode set to mute effects in. So even though these are on, don't worry too much about that. What I've done is I have taken the 4 delay taps here and set them to very short delay times with no feedback. I've panned them hard left and hard right, and then I have set individual chorus rates and depths on each of the delay taps right there. So you can see delay 1, 18 milliseconds of delay, and we've got 0.4 hertz for the chorus rate, 40% for the chorus depth, and it is panned hard left. Very similar ideas with each of these. This particular set of settings, or these particular settings, were inspired by the old Rocktron IntelliFX. I have one of those, and there's a great 8-voice chorus on there. So I just kind of use these 2 multi-tap delays to get close to that. And we've also got a whole bunch of extra features like filters on there. We can add diffusion to all of this if we want. We can have like an input envelope to automatically swell it in. All the power of the multi-tap delay there. Let's just hear a 4-voice chorus, and then I'm going to kick in this second multi-tap block. So that's a pretty stunning 8-voice chorus sound there. Of course, you could take one of these on your FM3 and your FM9 and have an amazing sounding quad chorus. Next, this might be one of my favorite applications of 2 pitch blocks as well as the send and returns here. So what do we have? We have 2 digital delays set to 375 milliseconds each. Nothing too interesting happening here. There's no feedback here, but what I have done is I have used the feedback send and return blocks to create a feedback loop, and I have placed a pitch block in each feedback loop here. So you can see 2 identical delays. Then on their feedback loops, we've got a detuner here, which is actually kind of modulating just a little bit. That's sweeping between -11 and -9 cents. And then over here on the second detuner, this is sweeping between 8 cents and 13 cents, just a little bit of an offset there. However, What I've done here is rather than have, say, this particular delay feedback into itself, it's feeding back into the other delay. So we have cross feedback. What this means is kind of every second time these detuned delays go around, the detuners are sort of going to cancel one another out, but not quite, because there's an offset in there. What's going to happen is you get your standard delay, and then for the repeats, you get this massive stereo spread. It is pretty stunning and pretty amazing. I've used the mixer block just to pan each of these hard left and hard right. And this is one of those things you just kind of have to hear to believe. I love the way this sounds. It's really, really reminiscent of some of my favorite tones from some vintage rack mount effects processors from the late 80s and early 90s. That's such a unique effect. I love the way that stereo image evolves in real time there with those detuners. So a great example, in my opinion, of why having two pitch blocks is really, really handy, creating that cross feedback loop with two delays. The next sound we're going to have a look at is using two plex delays with 8 delays each. So 16 different delay taps there with a unique feedback matrix, basically to create a really, really glorious and lush reverb. You can see here with this plex delay, you can set the decay time. I've got each block set to 3 seconds. And this block here is processing the right input. This one is processing the left input. Furthermore, what's happening is with each of the delay taps, I've set them to very short delay times that in this case generally increase. You can see this one is a little bit longer, and then over here you've got another bunch of short-ish delays there. And of course they are being smeared out by this diffusion parameter in here. Your input signal is also diffused. You've got a bit of pre-delay in here. If you want, you can add a little bit of modulation to all of these, and you can individually pan each voice. So we've got a pair of these over here, which is kind of stunning. And what I want to do is just let you hear this. This is actually included in a factory preset that I wrote called Plex Verb 8x2. I've essentially just copied these blocks over and crammed them into this preset, but I think it's a good example that with these two plex delays, two pitch blocks, two delays, two multi-delays, so the CPU is running somewhere around 60% on here. There's so much extra space to run more effects blocks, which is always a fun thing. So check this out for a glorious ambient reverb. Of course, we can run all of these blocks on at the same time, which is what I'm going to do to play you all out. If you have any questions about this video, please do not hesitate to leave a comment. If you have suggestions or requests for future Tuesday Tone Tip videos, put them in the comment section below. Hope you all have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next Tuesday.